Do you guys have this problem when you're reading? This is the problem I'm dealing with right now. I actually had to push my book up on this reading desk to make space for her. I'd like to get this on camera because no one ever believes that she comes to hang out with me, and she does when I'm reading. So, my arm is actually under her right now, which is why this camera angle is so weird and you're getting so much of my left arm in it. So I wasn't actually going to do a vlog today, but I have these books and I wanted to show them to you guys because no one else in my house really cares about the books that I have or the books that I'm getting. So I just got back from the library and I wanted to show you guys the books that I have. I'm actually still in the middle of reading Ordinary Monsters right now. I have, I don't know, not too far left to go. I am on page 380. And I believe that there are 650 some odd pages to this book. So yeah, I mean, normally when I read, I do remove the dust jacket, but I'm actually going to be shelving this one for a couple of weeks. I don't even think I'm going to be able to finish it in March. Probably it's going to go until the first week of April because I read so much of it. And then, I don't know, like I needed a brain cleansing something. Like I needed to sort of change it up because I've been reading this book all week. And this is a book that I own. It's a book that's on my TBR cart, like it's already a book that I own. So in our TBR takedown project, or I say our because you guys are my people, but like it's really my project. And in this project, I'm reading this one. I decided since I had 2 weeks left in the month of March to tackle a chunker, and this is a chunker. But I don't really think that I'm going to finish it because right now I think we're March 25th. And I know that there's another week left, but I had an accident today and I ended up at the library. I had actually placed a hold on The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. And when the library loan came in, I decided that I didn't have time to read it. So I ended up canceling the loan. And then, I don't know, life happened. My schedule kind of cleared up a little bit and the book was no longer available. So I put a hold on another book and the book came in within 48 hours and I had to go pick it up at the library, and it is Chain Gang All-Stars. So I did pick up a copy of this and I started it, and I've only read the prologue so far, at which point I decided to get on the vlog and kind of document this for you guys. But this book I actually picked up not at the library that you guys will have seen in my previous video, but it is in the second library in my borough, which I could either go to. This library where I got this one is actually a walkable library. And I was hoping to be able to walk there because it's only a half an hour walk to walk there and pick it up. But the weather was not great, so I ended up driving. And the problem with driving is that I ended up bringing home probably more books than I can read in the next week. So I have a copy of Chain Gang All-Stars, which like I said, just read the prologue, but so far, so good. So far, so good. Then I also wanted to show you the other books that I picked up. Okay, so I was actually on my way to do some mail and I left my house a little too early. So I had some time to kill and I killed it at the library. I went to look for some other books. So now one of the viewers had suggested to me, I think it was Angela, The House at the Cerulean Sea. So I did pick it up because I've never read any TJ Klune before, and yeah, it just happened to be in at that library. And again, I apologize for not getting any footage for you guys. It was really impromptu. I wasn't planning on it, and I clearly, you know, am not looking my greatest. So anyway, I didn't get footage, but I did actually end up going to the bathroom while I was there. And there was a very interesting poster that was up on the inside of the bathroom in that library, which I should be showing you on screen right now. And basically what it is a whole bunch of call numbers for sensitive subjects like eating disorders, LGBTQ+, suicide prevention, and anything else that people would not necessarily feel comfortable going to the librarian and asking the librarian to help them out with, because they're more like subjects that somebody could be shy about, I guess. So I just thought that it was really cool that the Montreal Library Network has this available so that people can discreetly look up their call numbers and then just use the self-checkout and sort of anonymously take out books without asking for help if you have, any sensitive issues. So I thought that that was really cool. And of course, that poster is up in the bathroom, which is a private place in the library that you can get that information. So I just think that's really nice that my library does that. So anyway, they had the House in the Cerulean Sea available, so I grabbed that. I have these books for 3 weeks, but I could always renew them up to 3 times each, as long as there are no holds. Okay, so in that library, the last book that I picked up, just because, not that it's been on my radar, it just kind of was on the shelf where I was standing next to it, and it looked kind of interesting because I saw on the spine, it said The Night of Baba Yaga. Now, I have no idea anything about this book. I don't know if it's a popular book or what have you, I don't know, but I was in my Russian folklore era, or have been for like a little while, so I was thinking maybe it's more Baba Yaga stories, and if so, I'm definitely down for that. And then, but it looks like it's like a Japanese thing, which is kind of weird. So I wanted to read you this because I actually opened it up in the library and it looked really, really interesting. So basically they're saying Tokyo 1979, Yoriko Shindo, a workhorse of a woman who's been an outcast her whole life, is kidnapped and dragged to the lair of the Naikikai, a branch of the Yakuza. After she savagely defends off a throng of henchmen in an attempt to escape, Shindo is only permitted to live under one condition, that she will become the bodyguard and driver for Shoko Naiki, the obsessively sheltered daughter of the gang's boss. 18-year-old Shoko, pretty and silent as a doll, has no friends, wears strangely old-fashioned clothes, and is naive in all matters of life. Originally disdaining her ward, Shindo soon finds herself far more invested in Shoko's well-being than she ever expected. But every man around them is bloodthirsty and trigger-happy. Shindo doubts she and Shoko will survive much longer if nothing changes. Could there ever be a different life for two women like them? Rendered in a gorgeous translation by international booker shortlisted Sam Bennett, this lean, mean thriller proves that bonds forged in fire are unbreakable. So I don't know, this sounded like really interesting to me. I would love to know how a Japanese story could center, or I don't even know if it centers around the tale of Baba Yaga or what Baba Yaga might mean to the Japanese, but I think it's kind of interesting. So I picked this one up, but it's not a long book. It's 200 pages and there's like a lot of double spacing and just, so it looks like it could read pretty quickly. I don't know, but honestly, it's not going to be one of my priority reads. I just kind of picked it up because it looked interesting, but I'll probably end up reading it last because by the time I left the library, I still had about 15 or 20 minutes until my shipping carrier opened. So I went back to the other library that you guys have seen in my previous library, Come to the Library with Me video, which if you guys haven't seen, I will link in the description down below if you guys want to go check out the previous library haul video with me. And I spent about 15 or 20 minutes at that other library, and I ended up finding a copy of The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. Now, this one here had been on my radar, and I just want to preface this by saying that, even though I've been a reader my entire life, BookTube is actually kind of new to me. I have only been on BookTube since about October of 2024, whereas I have been on YouTube since April of 2023. So I have been out of the loop as to what are the go-to books, and normally what I would do is I would go to a bookstore, peruse, grab a book that I thought looked interesting, and I would sort of march to the beat of my own drum. It didn't occur to me that there was a whole world of people out there. Since I'm not an Instagrammer, since I don't do anything on TikTok, I really had no idea that there were people out there that were giving book recommendations. And since October of 2024, my entire life has basically changed. I've come back to reading, and I actually know, based on other people's videos, what I would be interested in reading next, which is something that I always struggled with in the past. So when I saw that my library had a copy of The Familiar, which I had seen floating around BookTube for a few months now, I don't know when this book came out, but I've seen it. It's still kind of relevant, I think. And I knew the title, but not too much about what the plot centered around. So I opened up the book while I was in the library, and I found on the inside flap the little blurb about, what's inside of the book. And what hooked me and what actually made me decide to take it home is the fact that the protagonist is Jewish, and has like Jewish blood, and it says so right here, and that it's causing trouble for her. And I'm like, dude, that has been like our problem as a nation for like almost 6,000 years. So if you know me at all, you know that all I need to hear is that there is a little bit of Jewish in the protagonist, and I will pick up that book. That's all I needed. You say the word Jewish and I'm there. That being said, I'm not a practicing Jew. I'm very, very secular. I don't go to synagogue. I don't keep any of the holidays. I don't keep kosher or anything like that. But I do like when literature incorporates my culture, and I do have like, I don't want to say a religious upbringing, but I went to private Jewish school until like the 5th grade. So I have pretty much a good foundation about my religion that I'm born into but don't practice, if that makes sense. So anyway, all of this is to say I was interested by that. So I picked this one up, even though I probably would have picked it up eventually, but I had never read what was on the inside cover or back flap or known anything about this book other than people were talking about it and it seemed interesting to me. So yeah, that is basically it then, you guys. So I am going to spend the rest of the afternoon reading these books, kind of a short vlog, an impromptu vlog. I wasn't really planning on filming, so this is it. This is what you're gonna get. So I'm very sorry if you're new here and you're kind of confused as to what's going on, although I'm glad you've made it this far in the video. If you are a returning subscriber, mwah, 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 you know I love you the best. Angela, I will get on to The House in the Cerulean Sea. I just don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I'm going to get to it. And if you guys are thinking of suggesting books that you want me to read, just know that I am keeping a list of books that you guys are suggesting so that eventually I can do a video on it. So even though I have The House in the Cerulean Sea right now and I'm going to read it, I probably will not report on this, and then I'll probably like save my thoughts for like a future video when I do your guys' suggestions on what you think I would like and what I should be reading. So I hope that that makes sense. I will keep you guys posted. I know this vlog has, like so many others, been somewhat of a mess, but again, it wasn't planned. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I love you all so much. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Ciao for now.